Hey guys, it's me, your friend Felissa Rose, Angela from Sleepaway Camp, and you're listening to Kendall Hates Horror! Yeah.
Warning. Some viewers may find the following footage deeply disturbing. Welcome to my world, bitch. Kendall hates horror.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
I'm so fucking scared right now.
Alright, look, I know I'm about to say the softest thing that I've ever said in either one of your presents, and I'm gonna get ripped for this. But so with my hair growing longer, I've actually had to do other things to maintain it, make it healthy, stuff like that.
Sure.
And so I went and bought a new shampoo and conditioner this week, and it still smells like it. And it smells so good.
All right. Well, I feel like you thought that we were gonna fuck you up over that comment, but you have long hair.
I do.
So
I thought you were gonna fuck me up over the fact that my hair still smells good because of it.
Oh no, right after the shower smell is
Yeah.
That's soothing in a way.
Yeah.
I relate actually. It's nothing to beat you up about.
Okay, that's good.
You cute motherfucker, you.
No, don't. Now Evan later on is gonna rip me a new one for me smelling my hair and thinking it smells good.
Nah, you ain't.
No, we'll see.
No way.
No promises.
Welcome to this week's episode of Kendall Hates Horror. I'm your host, Grant. I'm sitting across the table from our horror aficionado. I don't think we ever came up with a better name for you other than horror aficionado. But lead psychologist, Evan.
Yeah. He was shot 6 times.
And sitting over to my left is our beautiful friend, the light of my life, my heart, Kendall.
Hello.
How's everybody doing this week?
Great.
It's in the middle of the holidays. Everyone's not stressed out or anything like that. When we're recording this, we're about a week into December or so.
Oh no, my depression is at an all-time high. I love Christmas.
Yeah, Christmas seasonal affective disorder is real, and it's a fitting that its anachronism is sad.
Is it just SAD?
SAD, seasonal affective disorder. That's a real thing.
Sad.
It's a sad day. Yes, it is.
I have a kind of a background in mental health, so I actually did a class on seasonal affective disorder last week and talked about one of the reasons why it follows as typical depression symptoms, but also you're kind of more affected by it because you get less sunlight because A, it's cold, nobody wants to go outside, B, the days are shorter, C, you just don't feel like going outside. Plus, everyone has the family shit.
Yes, seasonal depression. It's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
when the season's over, then it just rolls right into just regular depression for me.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's awesome.
It's great. It's great.
I don't have an excuse anymore.
No. I can say now that it's the holidays, but then when it comes around to February, what am I supposed to say?
It's fad.
It's February affective disorder.
You can make it for everything. It's AAD.
Yeah.
April.
Well, in February there is a thing called Singles Awareness Day.
Is that?
Which is another way to say Valentine's Day.
Yeah. There's never another day in the year that does not remind me how absolutely single I am. Well, how long have you been married?
I've been married. Oh no, you would ask me that. I've been married a while.
Jamie's gonna listen to
we've
this.
Been
Yeah, we can-
together. We've been together for 14 years.
Okay, that other stuff we can just edit out.
Yeah, married
No,
15,
we're gonna leave it
16,
there.
17, 18, 19, 20. 9 years.
You've been married 9 years. Okay.
Whew.
Together for 14.
I got it out.
So
babe, I got it out.
Yeah.
I counted it up. I had to count on my fingers, but I
He did.
got it.
He did.
I did.
So what you're saying is that it's been 14 years since you have celebrated Single Awareness Day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I
Poser.
It's been man, being it's a ride.
It is.
It's actually sometimes you're like, well, I envy you. And then sometimes you're like, this is great.
This is fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
This
I
is
hope
fine.
she don't listen to this.
Yeah. Well, let's be real. She doesn't listen to any of the episodes.
Nah.
She only listens to the ones that pertain to things that she's interested in.
Yeah.
So, fellas, I've been doing a little homework,
Oh,
and I really want to ask you both a question.
okay.
The question of the episode for me to you, both of you, is if you had to spend one day in a horror movie, which one would it be?
My God.
My answer was I had it
Really?
like that. Yep.
That quick?
100%.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. If you got it.
Night of the Living Dead.
Why?
Because I look forward to the zombie apocalypse now.
You look forward to it.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah.
can't wait.
Fall of civilization. Yeah. Living off the land. I'm doing it. Running away to Mexico.
But you have to deal with the fucking zombies.
And in that movie, they move slow. Like we're not talking about Zack Snyder's Night of the Dawn of the Dead, where they all run fast and you're like, I have to be in shape. I'm talking about the slow zombies, the Romero zombies. Those are the zombies that I
Yeah,
can
but
get
you're
away with.
also living in civil rights era America.
No. The 1990 version.
Okay. 90s, still the 90s.
Still my favorite horror movie.
Still the 90s is rough, too.
Yeah, I mean it's a little.
All right, Evan.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess Cabin in the Woods, because it all ends.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. You don't know.
Right, I wouldn't know.
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods. For the listeners that know what I'm talking about, it all ends, and I'm good with it. Yeah. Do you have one in particular
Does he-
of the
so
few
far,
that you've seen?
So far, I would either like to live in Jaws because I love fishing.
and it's easy to not die in that movie. 'Cause
Yeah, I mean,
As long as you're not on
can
that
see
fucking boat.
You can see the motherfucker coming a mile away. And he's so slow. Like, I
Or-
feel like I could swim away from that.
Just
fucker.
move from Amity Island.
Yeah.
Or just not get on a boat.
Just don't get
not
on
get on a boat.
don't get on that boat.
Don't
Yeah.
get in the water.
Yeah.
Stay out of the water.
That's
Yeah.
fine with me. I've done it my whole life.
Yeah.
I will say I went to Galveston this summer, and Jaws kept coming back to me over and over, and I just knew this motherfucker was going to get me, and so I had that in the back of my mind the whole time, and then I fell in the ocean, had to get a new phone. I fell in, and it was the first thing on my mind when I fell in. I'm like, there's a shark, and he's going to eat the fuck out of me.
See,
It's gonna happen.
You were experiencing as an adult what most of us experienced when we were 10 or 12. After we after we watched a horror movie, that was all we obsessed about. Like, oh my God, Candyman's gonna come get us.
Remember when I said a while ago that when I watch a horror movie,
It sticks
sticks
with you.
I watched Jaws when I was 12. I'm almost 36 years old.
Yeah.
It's still fucking with me, man. It's still here.
That's fair. I am not afraid of spiders, but arachnophobia messed me up to the point where like I don't mess with spiders. Like spiders and I have a mutual understanding. I don't mess with them. They don't mess with me. As long as they don't come in my space, I'm cool with it. The minute they come in my space, nope.
Yeah, not
Same with the
The
today.
minute they come into a 10-mile radius, I'm
Yeah.
not good with it.
Yeah, spiders, June bugs.
I almost
fuck a June
I
bug,
almost
dude.
gave my car to a wasp.
He did. He told me the story. Did he tell you that one?
There was I was leaving work. This is when I still worked at where we work now before, right
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
I left.
And this was this the Ford?
Yeah, I
Taurus.
had a white Ford Taurus, and I got in my car, and then I heard a. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I looked over, and there's a goddamn wasp. It had got into my, like the rubber.
The seal.
The seal.
The seal.
Yeah. Shows how much I know about cars.
You're good.
And I was like, nope, fuck that. Here's the keys. I guess this is yours now, because I don't want anything to do with
So
it.
there has been a wasp in existence that owned a white Ford Taurus at one
For
time.
at least a short amount of time.
Yeah,
He told- the way
he
he
would have driven off. I was like, I'll work on the paperwork. I'll sign the title over to you later.
That
the way he-
motherfucker, he was pimping like P. Diddy down the road.
The way he told me the story was, he said the wasp got in his car. He said, "Nope," threw the keys at it, jumped out, slammed the door, and said, "That's yours now."
Yeah. But luckily, whenever I had opened the door again, it had flown out. And so I got back in the car, and then I sped away. This is Halloween. This is Halloween.
We're doing Nightmare Before
Yeah,
Christmas.
no, we're doing Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good feelings gone.
Yeah.
I was so excited for a minute.
We're doing a heavy hitter.
Yeah, we are doing 1978's Halloween, directed by John Carpenter, written by John Carpenter, produced by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, and composed by John Carpenter.
Hey, fuck you, John Carpenter.
Hey, that is
kidding. I'm kidding.
unfair.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm shaking. I'm over here. I know about this movie. I've done a little research. Mm-hmm. And I'm shaking like a dog shitting peach seeds.
Well, we will get to. Oh man, we will get to that.
I am so fucking scared.
I was not prepared for peach seeds.
No. So it was released on October 25th, 1978, on a budget of about $300,000 to $325,000. And it made $70 million. At the time, I don't know if it still is. At the time, it was the most successful independent movie ever made.
Well, considering that it was pretty much produced by two people, I mean that.
It stars Donald Pleasance
It's Dr. Loomis.
as Dr. Loomis. He was the highest paid actor on this film. He got about $20,000 to be in this film. He was the first and only choice for this role.
Yeah.
And then it also stars Jamie Lee Curtis.
I love how it's like also stars Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis is like, she has more screen time than Loomis does, or than Donald Pleasance does. But
he's got top billing because
he's got top billing.
She was
an unknown.
Nobody knew who the fuck she was.
unknown.
She was 19 years old when she was in this. She had been in some TV and stuff. She auditioned for it. I can't remember. I have to look that up. But John Carpenter had a first in mind to play Laurie, but I can't off the top of my head remember who it was. But a lot of the other people that were involved in the film, they really liked her audition. They were like, yeah, we need to go with her, which was the right choice. John Carpenter will tell you today that whoever he had in mind was, it had to be Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, but the main reason why he hired Jamie Lee Curtis is because he actually wanted to pay tribute to Alfred Hitchcock. Because Jamie Lee Curtis is the daughter of Janet Leigh, who was in Psycho.
That's what we're doing today. Did you wanted to get into your little thing? Should we introduce it, or do you want to introduce it?
Okay. Well, I mean, go ahead and introduce it. You go ahead. You do it.
I have no idea what's about to happen, and I don't know why I'm scared.
We'll cut the fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you Kendall's Fun Facts.
All right. So I thought that I would try, because you guys have given me a lot of fun facts already, but I wanted to try to find some that you guys wouldn't come up with. So you tell me if you've heard and I've never seen the movie, so a lot of these don't make any sense to me, but did you know that the original title for the film was supposed to be The Babysitter Murders?
Yes.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't know that.
That was a fun fact for me. Now, did you know this one? So, in the movie, the movie was filmed in California,
Yes.
but it's set in Illinois.
Haddonfield.
They wanted to shoot it in during Halloween time, but to make it look like fall, they had to use fake leaves. Yeah, so they made a bunch of fucking paper mache leaves.
They had to paint them too.
And did you know that there was a guy, a scary motherfucker, that worked on the set picking these leaves up for one day? Could you imagine who it was?
No.
Robert England.
Yes, sir.
And his roommate spent time picking them fucking leaves up.
Yep.
So dipping his hands into the.
You knew this.
Do you know who do you know who Robert England's roommate was in the 70s?
No, I have no idea.
Mark Hamill, also known
No shit.
as Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Okay.
no shit.
Robert England was the reason Mark Hamill went to audition for Luke Skywalker because he got a script for it and he was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And Robert England was like, look, take it, go try and get it because it's a job.
So you're saying that without Robert England, we wouldn't have had Mark Hamill?
Yeah, we would have had some other
guy playing Luke Skywalker.
You gotta be fucking shitting.
No, that's another fun fact about Robert England.
Yeah, that is great.
Yeah.
What other fun facts you got for us?
The movie was dark in quite a bit of the movie. Do you know why? They just didn't have enough money to buy more light bulbs. That was a fun fact for me. I'm like, well,
Dark lighting comes from necessity. The crew didn't have enough money for more lights.
Yeah.
Going along with that one, you might already have this fun fact, but all of the actors wore their own clothes because they didn't have enough money for wardrobe either.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis actually bought her wardrobe from JCPenney's and only spent $100.
Wow.
Yeah. JCPenney and Kmart are featured in the end credits.
Yeah, because
Special thanks to JCPenney and Kmart.
for clothing our actors.
Yeah.
So speaking on the fall thing, and they're in California. Mm-hmm. So for the movie, they could only find 4 pumpkins because it's called Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have pumpkins. They can only find 4, which one was green, and they had to paint it orange. And I can't. This is the only reason I can't wait to watch this movie.
So I try to find the green pumpkin.
I want to find the fucking pumpkins. All 4 of them. I'm going to go, oh, there's one. There's another. Oh, there's some pumpkins in this room. Yeah. And all of the knife stab sound effects were made by stabbing a watermelon.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was
So
that's gonna, and it's
kind of like the ham slapping scene from Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah, I made a note here where I said I've stabbed a watermelon with a knife, not scary.
Yeah.
The knife used by Michael Myers was a Cutco 102-12 butcher knife.
That I did not know.
And when I read that fun fact, I got excited because I have actually seen that fucking knife in action. I have seen it.
Wow. I've never even heard of it.
My buddy in college, his name is Dan. Dan used to go door to door during college. He didn't have a regular job. He wanted to have a weird job. He's just that kind of guy.
Yeah.
He went door to door selling Cutco knives,
He was
right?
a door-to-door salesman.
He
what
was.
A fucking
Knife salesman.
What a blast from the past that is.
Yeah.
He was a door-to-door knife salesman.
Now
right?
it's just people trying to sell Jesus.
So he brought home this big bag of, because Dan lived with us at the time. He brought home this big bag of Cutco, and we were like, "What are you doing with all that or whatever?" He's like, "Oh, I'm selling it, whatever," because we weren't too much into whatever. And so one night we got real fucked up. We were all just drinking and whatever. Anyway, so I was like, Dan, because he said he'd been trained on how to sell it, right? And we're like, whatever that means, okay, whatever. Went on with our life. Well, that night I was like, Dan, sell me those Cutco knives. Sell me them. And we had a bunch of people over, right? So he starts doing his thing, and it's really, really good. I'm like, good God, I feel like I need to buy these knives. Well, at one point in his demonstration here, he pulls out a rope, and he's like, who would like to hold the rope?
Oh,
and we're like,
I don't like the way this is going.
Well, my buddy Ryan was like, oh, I'll hold the rope. That's cool. and he's like, oh, hold it like this, showing him how to hold it and everything, and he stretches it out.
And 4 days later, they went to Ryan's funeral.
And
next thing you know, we're in the emergency room.
Yeah.
Instead of...
Did you just yada, yada, yada into the emergency room?
Yeah, I did.
Well, I think I led this with we were really fucked up on whatever.
Yes.
And so instead of like cutting the rope like you're supposed to, Dan goes full samurai and tries to like hack it, and hacked Ryan's thumb all the way to the bone. So I don't know if it was the Cutco 10212, but I think it was a knife similar.
It was a Cutco.
I have seen it in action. I saw what it could do, and Ryan McFarlane, wherever you are, you still have that scar, I'm sure.
So I think we should also point out that we're not sponsored by Cutco, but apparently if you need a knife, Cutco's the way to go.
Cutco, oh, dude, I'm a believer. I've seen it.
Not a sponsor, just cool.
Yeah. Do you happen to have a fact about the mask?
Oh, yes. William Shatner this mask was made out of a William Shatner mask.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually the one from his Star Trek situation.
Star Trek
situation.
I haven't seen Star Trek either, so I don't know.
Trek. It's not TRAK, it's TREK.
Oh, Trek.
Trek.
Star Trek.
Yes.
Okay.
Who fucking cares?
I care.
Okay, so Star Trek.
Oh, sorry for
William
you
Shatner.
2 people that are listening.
Anyway.
Oh, speaking of listeners, I want to give a special shout out to our one fan in the great country of Algeria. And in honor of our one fan in Algeria, here are a couple of fun facts about Algeria.
Yes, awesome.
Algeria is the largest country in Africa, covering an area of 2.38 million square kilometers. Wow. Don't ask me to convert that to miles. I don't know. We're American, so. Algeria is a leading exporter of natural gas and has the 10th largest natural gas reserve in the world. Wow!
You rock, Algeria.
Yeah, I know, right?
You keep me warm.
I have one.
Okay.
The capital city of Algiers, which is the capital of Algeria, is known as the White for its sun-bleached buildings.
Wow, that is cool.
I actually looked some pictures of Algeria up. It looks pretty fucking dope.
It does.
And I showed my daughters, and they want to go there.
Yeah.
No joke.
The national animal of Algeria is the fennec fox, and is also the nickname of the Algerian national football team. We're talking about, for Americans, it's soccer, but for the football. For the football.
Dates are a staple food in the Algerian population.
Mm-hmm. Algeria is known for its handicrafts, including carpet, ceramic, pottery, leather, glasswork, and silverwork.
Algeria once had a camel cavalry in the Sahara Desert. That's pretty badass, dude.
The national language
So awesome.
is Arabic, but also various Berber, which I don't know what that is, but I wanted to look it up, and French are also spoken. So it's a form of French. Algeria is where the French Foreign Legion used to be.
Oh.
Actually, their national anthem is a war song against the French.
Well, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
French independence, you know.
But it did gain its independence from France July 5th, 1962.
Missed it by one day.
July 5th?
They should have done July 4th. That would have been the day. The ancient kingdom of Numidia was located in northwest Africa. It is initially included in the territory that is now Algeria. So it's a very old country. But Algeria has a very young population, with the median age being around 29 years. So to our single listener in Algeria, we acknowledge you.
We salute you.
We salute you.
We salute you.
All right. So that being said, are we ready to go watch the movie?
I think so.
Kendall, this is our first heavy hitter for you.
I did read that this is one of the most scariest and most frightening thrillers of all time. And it also set the standard for modern horror films for scary, suspenseful, and viscerally thrilling.
I would consider this one of the most important movies in the horror genre.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm terrified. Here we go.
And this is our first of like 11 movies in the Halloween series.
Yeah, yeah, really,
there's a lot.
Yeah. There's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of
And
them.
here we go.
Yeah.
And here we go. Don't worry, we spread them out a little bit, so you're not going to have to watch them back to back to back. That would be cruel and unusual, and I wouldn't do that to you with that sweet smile of yours.
I love you.
But you can, if you want to watch the movie along with us, you can catch it on Shudder. If you're listening to this podcast, just get a subscription to Shudder. It's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best subscription services for streaming,
Yeah.
especially for a horror fan. It's so good.
The only reason why I don't have a Shudder subscription is because Evan has one.
Yeah,
yeah. We live in the same house. So.
When they say it's the Netflix of horror, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, just sponsor us, Shudder.
Yeah.
But yeah, just check it out on Shudder, and we'll.
Yeah. So if you're listening along and want to pause the podcast and go watch the movie with us, this is where you'll pause. If you've already watched the movie and you just want to pick it up after the musical interlude, we're going to have a bunch of spoilers. So come back and listen. Thanks. And we're back. We have now watched Halloween. We hope you watched Halloween with us. Kendall has seen Halloween for the first time. Kendall,
Go watch it.
Kendall, what do you think?
I mean, it was good. I mean, I'm saying it was good because it didn't scare the shit out of me. I mean, I liked it. I like the movie. Like I've said before, I find that within this, my perception of the movie is highly defined by whether it scared the fuck out of me or not. I really liked it because I was able to watch it without it really scaring the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I was paying attention to you during the movie. It didn't seem like you were like
No, it
traumatized. Or
yeah,
anything
it was
along those
just
lines.
this dude went around killing people, and
Yeah, a lot of people consider this movie very scary when they first see it.
well, I mean, it didn't have that effect on me, but it was. I mean, I could see it's very unsettling and intense because there's has really big stalker vibes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's you know that motherfucker's lurking around all the time, and you just wonder when he's gonna pop up again. And then everybody in the town is so oblivious to him being there, and
Yeah,
you're just like,
it's the template for a slasher movie.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
that's what everybody uses as their go. Like, if I'm gonna make a slasher movie, I'm gonna make it similar to Halloween or the structure. Not so
Yeah.
much. I'm gonna make the same movie, but I'm gonna make the structure's gonna be the same. It's gonna be we're gonna introduce this guy. We're gonna have like a kill early to set you up for this, and then slowly but surely we're gonna introduce our main character, our final girl or final boy.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we're gonna introduce your final girl / boy and their friends,
yeah,
and then all of his or her friends are gonna be killed.
yeah. Basically, all the friends die.
For a final showdown between the killer and the protagonist.
So you've said just now that if you were to make one,
Yeah, that's the template you use. It's because that's it because it works. That's where that and then that's what Halloween does. It introduces. It doesn't introduce, but it really makes famous the template we will get for pretty much every slasher film ever made.
well, it's a pretty decent template. Oh,
Well, yeah, there's a reason it's used because it works.
So, yeah, we talked a little bit about like the budget, the fact that this has become like the poster child for like horror movies. Throughout the years, it's maintained its popularity. I mean, it's still considered. It's 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, certified fresh for the critics, and for some reason, it's only 89% on the audience score. But you still see reviews that say this is like a perfect horror movie. Still stands the test of time, type of thing. Well-crafted, low-budget triumph, still fascinating to watch in 2024. So, yeah, 10s across the board. John Carpenter is the GOAT.
I will attest to that. I think that it stood up pretty well, and I mean, from the movies we've watched, you've got Sleepaway Camp, you've got Killer Clowns, which were from this same time. This was before that time.
Well before.
Yeah, this
before
is
either
about 10
one
years.
of those.
This is 5 years before.
Yeah, before either one of those.
Yeah, this is 10 years before.
And I will say that this one holds up so much. I mean, those were they were more of a. They're a good time.
They're campier.
They're campier. Yes.
This is a very serious film.
Yes, this was serious, and I think that even now, yeah, I mean, there were parts in there that I was unsettled. Like, I mean, even with the shit we've seen nowadays, like Get Out and all the shit that there is out there, the Saw movies, it still holds up just as well against those nowadays. Mm-hmm. And I can appreciate that. I really do appreciate what he did, especially with the budget he had. It really...
He makes it work.
It's impressive. I mean, even though I don't like...
Well, I mean, he got the job because of the fact that he was able to do so much with so little. Mm-hmm. But John Carpenter was very, he's a very particular man. Like, he sticks to his guns, and that's why I like him. That's why I respect the shit out of him, is because he said, I want full creative control over this entire film. What I say goes. And he was like, yep.
And then dude was like, okay, you can do it. You're just going to have to use half the amount of light bulbs that you actually want.
He said, I'm going to give you this much money. Can you make this movie with this much money? He was like, yep, I can make it work.
Yeah, no light bulbs.
Because he was like, I'm writing, me and Deborah Hill are writing it ourselves. Just, we're going to write it. She's going to produce it. I'll compose it. And the only person I want for this movie is Donald Pleasence. John Carpenter basically, when they were writing the dialogue, so they wrote the movie together, him and Deborah Hill. Him and Deborah Hill were dating at the time. They're still really close to this day. She still works pretty tightly with him. So he wrote a lot of the male dialogue, like Sheriff Brackett's dialogue, especially any of the stuff that Loomis says, like his speech when he's talking to Brackett in the Myers house and stuff. And she handled the female dialogue, like the teenage girl dialogue. That was her expertise or whatever. And I think she does a great job on that.
Well, it's because she was a teenage girl,
exactly.
Except for the totally part.
There are a few male writers that are able to really get that. He Who Must Not Be Named was really good at that. From Buffy. Mm-hmm. And there are just some guys that really just get it. And that's what John Carpenter is so fucking good at, because he always has one of my favorite tropes of his is I know I'm just sucking John Carpenter's dick, but he's fucking great because in all of his movies, his protagonist is always the everyman. That's his thing, the everyman. You can look throughout all of his, especially his horror films. You have Laurie Strode is pretty everyman. You have fucking Kurt Russell from
Escape from New York. And
Snake. Fucking McCready. And then, I can't remember his name from Big Trouble in Little China. Whatever his name was. He was the everyman. Roddy Piper in They Live. The everyman. Like, that's just his thing. He's gonna make you relate to this main character because he's not that different from you. He just gets thrown in, his main characters just get thrown into these outlandish situations, and he's like, but how would you deal with that? And that's why his characters are so relatable. That's why he's good at writing characters.
That was like poetry, Evan.
Thank you.
You did really good there.
I didn't even know it.
Don't
I enjoyed
give
the
it.
shit
Do
out of
not give him any gold stars.
I'll take them this time.
Yeah, you're like an Edgar Allan Poe.
I was a poet and didn't even know it.
You can make a
Well,
rhyme
you weren't
anytime.
you weren't rhyming.
No, I didn't.
You
rhyme.
were flowing. Good Lord.
But I mean, that's.
His name was Jack Burton.
Oh no.
Let's go back to talk. Let's go back to talk about this movie.
Yeah. Let's talk about a good movie.
Yeah. Oh God, that is KH Horror Podcast at gmail.com. If you would like me to yell at Evan or punch him or whatever, just email us first.
I feel like we're filming an episode of Home Improvement. Like you're like that's Tim Taylor, care of.
Yeah. Care of Benford Tools.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just, I mean, so do we want to like just get into the movie, or was there any other thoughts that anybody else had about the film, about how fucking great it is? But yeah, so do you guys want to just talk about the movie, or
we can do a synopsis of the movie.
Okay.
Get like some ideas. I know there were some scenes that you found kind of humorous.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You got your jump scares in this movie.
Yeah, there was some. Just thinking back through it, my favorite part of this movie. My favorite part of the movie was when. Okay, so right after Bill was killed, Bob. Jesus, Bill. What am I thinking? Okay. Right after Bob was killed, Michael Myers comes up with a sheet on him. And he's wearing Bob's glasses.
Yeah.
And he's just standing there.
Like a weirdo.
Yeah.
Like a fucking weirdo.
One of the many costumes that he wears throughout the film series.
And like, she's like so confused. She's like, come over here, bring me my beer and all this stuff. And he's just... But he's wearing a sheet the whole time with some fucking glasses, and there's little holes cut in the...
Every time I see that, now that I've seen Django Unchained, every time I see that scene, I always think of Big Daddy on the back of that horse when he goes, I can't see fucking shit.
I appreciate the way that she made these costumes.
I'm just saying, they could have been done better.
Could have been better. I can't see shit in these things.
Well, you motherfuckers can go fuck yourself.
All you can do is criticize.
I think my favorite part of the movie was that where he come out with wearing a bed sheet with little eye holes cut out. And
Like he's going to some sort of meeting.
Like the ghost Michael Myers. He's like he's dressed up for Halloween.
Well, that guy. So my
I gotta go.
Yeah. So like my thing was like we saw Bob like immediately after dismounting from Linda. He puts his glasses on, and I made a comment. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's the first thing I would think to do is put my glasses on." And Evan goes, "Oh well, you clearly don't know the struggle because you have to put your glasses on so you can see things." So obviously, Bob is pretty fucking blind. Yeah. But Michael Myers, who at this point does not wear glasses, throws his glasses on and is walking around, just ruining his eyes. like this guy.
Yeah, Michael Myers.
Well,
that could give you
he's
headaches.
not going to have use for one of them later anyway. So
yeah, I'm really glad. By the way, side note, I'm really glad they did that off screen because
you don't like eye shit.
Eye trauma. Right. Yeah, eye trauma. What's your kill of the movie?
It's probably Bob. Bob. It has it's the best jump scare of the movie, I think. Well, it's one of the best jump scares in the movie. Both of them involve Bob. But yeah, it kind of shows.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking
showing the strength of Michael. He fucking stabs him and then lifts him up.
Yep.
And then puts him on the fucking wall.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
Michael Myers is classified as kind of like a juggernaut killer. Like he's this supremely strong, somehow insanely strong, even though he's thin as a board.
Borderline invincible.
Just no matter what you throw at him, he just keeps coming.
Yeah.
He's in the same vein as like your Victor Crowley's from Hatchet, or your Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise. They're not bright, but they're strong and tough, and they can't be killed.
Now there is no indication that Michael has one motive, and that is kill and never stop. I mean, that's why Loomis, he calls him, he is the epitome of evil.
Yeah.
He is evil, like, incarnate.
Yeah. He had no reason to be evil. It was just he was evil.
Yeah.
That's kind of the difference between him and some of the other killers, is nobody really knows what his motivations are or why he does what he does. It's always kind of a mystery. In the original series, they go more into it in like the Rob Zombie movies and stuff like that, but those aren't canon. So we kind of just start on the it's Halloween night, 1963.
Yeah, it's in Michael's 6.
Yeah, he's 6.
He's 6. Huge for a 6-year-old.
Yeah, that's because they were trying to I get it.
Such a big 6-year-old.
But when it was happening, nobody in the theater thought it was a child. That's why the reveal is so like, Jesus Christ, it's a fucking kid. That's why they did that. It doesn't make sense when you watch it and it's like, why is he so tall? He's not that tall.
He's not. Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of just see this like POV shot. And,
he was carrying a step stool with him so that he could stab his sister.
We get this like POV shot, which is like pretty standard for like slasher films. I mean, they did it with Psycho, they did it with Peeping Tom. It's just what they do.
Yeah, it's a thing.
It's a thing. Friday the 13th is nothing but POV shots. And then we kind of follow around this house. We see a girl and a guy. They're making out. They go upstairs to I guess fuck, and it lasts for 2 seconds. I mean, that might be being.
Call me tomorrow.
Well, hey, Kendall made an excellent point when we were watching the movie. Like, I said, that's actually pretty. That's not that quick. That's pretty average.
Yeah, totally.
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 What did you say?
I will not say what I said.
Too bad, it's already on video.
It's on video.
Can't. I'm not going to say that.
Well, it's not a knock at women. It's actually a knock at men. Like
new pussy is a thing.
Yeah, it is. When guys meet, there's a lot of pressure on guys when they first, get with a girl, and
That's why if you know that it's gonna happen, just fucking crank one out. You just crank one out before you go. It's just like Chris Elliott says in There's Something About Mary. He's like, you don't want to go in there with a loaded gun. You crank one out, and your mind's just right.
Yeah.
No. Fuck it, leave it in. I don't care. I don't give a fuck.
We'll leave it in.
We're leaving it in.
Yeah.
And then we get these POV shots, and then we head upstairs, and he grabs a mask on the way there. So then we just
he also grabs a knife on the way there.
Grabs a knife on the way, and then we just see like eye holes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the girl turns around, and of course she's fucking topless. Because why wouldn't she be?
While she's brushing her hair. I thought that was very unusual. Like, you're not going to get dressed.
It's actually pretty not unusual. I mean, if Revenge of the Nerds taught me anything, that's what girls do.
Revenge of the Nerds is such a problematic movie nowadays.
Well, yeah, it's really bad. But if it's taught me anything, that's what they do. They brush their hair topless.
Yeah.
With a lot of them around.
Oh yeah. So Kendall, this is your first gratuitous nude scene since we started doing these movies.
True.
How did that make you feel in the pants?
A zero. Nothing happened.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a married man.
Because you know that. Yeah.
Absolutely no fucking. I plead the fifth.
Yeah, Jamie. He literally did not make any kind of. Nothing happened.
He said, "Fast forward it." He's like, "I'm shutting my eyes."
He did.
Oh my God, I can't.
He made the sign of the cross and everything. Yeah, he started.
I did. This is not a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he started talking like David Koresh. It was really weird.
It was weird.
Yeah, I was like, Mom, can you come pick me up? It's getting weird.
I drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
It was Flavor Aid, actually.
It was Flavor Aid.
The new pussy thing, that was Grant. That wasn't me.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah.
I'm the one who actually, I am the one who
They're trying to put that on me.
conversation.
They're trying to put that on me. I didn't do it.
I am actually the one that started that conversation. I was like, wait, why did it not last that long?
And then she turns around and she's like, Michael, and then blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah.
He only stabs her like twice while he's looking at her, and then he like turns and like obviously so they could spray her with fake blood, but like in canon, like he starts stabbing her, and then he just like looks away because it's almost like he's bored.
Ooh, shiny.
Squirrel.
This also gave me kind of sleepaway camp vibes where homeboy is drowning and he's like barely waving his hand.
Yeah, he's just
A little bit, yeah.
When she's getting stabbed, she was like, oh.
Yeah,
that
like,
hurts.
listen, I don't care how big
And then she's laying on the floor
I
dead.
don't care how big that 6-year-old kid is. He starts swinging a knife at me. Like, he's like, you seen the size of my fist versus the size of a 6-year-old's face? I will fucking, like, okay, so wait, how old is, which one's your youngest? Is it Jazz? Kinley. Okay, how old is she?
11.
Okay, so if Kinley was coming at you with a knife,
Right.
okay, would you not be able to just like sock her one and she and that knife would go flying in two opposite sections?
I don't even think I'd have to sock her. I
Yeah.
could just grab her arm
Yeah.
and be like, girl, what the fuck? Like, what in the cinnamon toast fuck are you doing? And it wouldn't take me much at all to disarm.
Yeah. Like, I feel like, I feel like if a 6-year-old, like even a big 6-year-old, if he came after me, I would just, be able to just knock him, just like reset him to factory standard, and that knife would go in one direction, he would go in the other, and maybe shoes would go flying up to the ceiling.
I would end that 6-year-old's fucking life.
Oh, yeah. I would destroy that 6-year-old's entire career. But this girl's just like,
I'd be like,
Michael.
look at me.
Yeah.
Look at him. I would fucking destroy him.
Yeah. And then I would blame it on a doorknob. Sorry, I guess that was just me and my childhood.
Like, oh, sorry, he fell down.
Yeah.
It'd be like what Logan Paul said to Mike Tyson. I will fucking kill you.
I will fucking kill you, Mike.
And ironically, their names are the same. Michael Myers.
Oh, I was
Mike
like Logan and Mike. That's not
No,
even.
that's
not a
in the
thing,
same.
yeah.
I know. My mind it put it all together way too quick.
I was like, what?
And I'm like, I'm yeah. It's not cool if I have to catch you up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we kind of he walks outside, and then the parents show up.
Yeah.
And they take the mask off, and it's supposed to be a big reveal that, oh fuck, it's a little kid. Ugh. And then we cut to
And they just stare at him for a long time.
yeah. There's like a big like the shot just keeps.
I don't
going.
think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think they were actually just like staring at him. I think that was supposed to be a freeze frame as the camera pans back, so they were supposed to stand still. This is a little bit more.
That's old school shit.
Well, yes, and Rob Zombie paid homage to this in the 2007 remake, where they pan over a cop car and you can still see the lights, but the kid is staring out the back seat of the cop car, completely motionless. So, like, the scene is still going on, but they're supposed to be frozen in time, just like trying to take it all in as they zoom out.
Yeah, and then we cut to we get to meet Dr. Loomis for the first time.
Played by the most excellent Donald Pleasance. Samuel Loomis is we established as kind of an asshole, but with good cause.
Yeah, he's driving with a nurse, and some fans that have seen H2O will recognize her because she appears in H2O in the beginning of H2O. But they're driving to Smith's Grove, which is the sanitarium that Michael was put into after he killed his sister, and he's been there for 15 years. And they kind of roll up, and it's raining, and he's kind of just they're talking about what they're going to do because they're taking him to see a judge.
Yeah.
Because it's part of his appeals thing, I think.
Yeah.
It's something that they have to do.
This is 15 years. This is 15 years after. At that point, he's now 21, and at 21, even if you're a child and you murder someone, you get to see a judge, and the judge determines whether or not you have served your time or if you're ready to go.
Yeah, which obviously Loomis is going to testify into the fact that no, he's really not ready to go. And then we see as they're kind of curving around the corner, they see a lot of the other patients are out. It's nighttime. It's raining.
And the first thing they say is, "Who let them out?"
Yeah.
Nobody
let them out.
They're just out.
It's nighttime and it's raining.
Yeah.
Why would anybody have let them out?
They let themselves out.
Yeah.
Something's bad here.
Yeah.
This isn't recess.
Turn around.
They're just out.
Turn around. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, and then because Loomis gets out of the car to check the gate.
Yeah.
And then we get this kind of it's kind of one of the more goofier things in the movie is when Michael jumps on the car and you hear that. It's like, what the fuck is this? It's like it's so out of place in this movie, but and then he starts he starts grabbing the nurse trying to get her out, and he one hand palms the window and fucking smashes it.
Yeah, with an open hand.
With an open hand. That's crazy.
Yeah, you can break a car window with an open hand.
That's like Gunther shit.
Yeah, that's just some crazy strength.
That was a WWE reference for those that aren't following along.
Yeah, and then she fucking bolts out of that car and he fucking says, "Mine now, bitch." And he fucking drives off.
It was like your wasp.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he totally stole that car. And then, and I'm like, bro, this homeboy has been in this sanitarium since he was 6 years old. Who taught this motherfucker how to drive?
Somebody had to have. And he even says,
yeah,
somebody must have.
Yeah, he's like, he can't even drive. He's like, well, somebody taught him. And then, because it kind of flips back and forth between the teenagers and Loomis. And because Loomis finds the truck that's on the side of the highway after he's called the Haddonfield police, I believe.
Yeah, I think he actually called Bracken or something.
Yeah. And he was he finds the hospital gown that was left there, and then he didn't see the dead body laying on.
He could have taken like 3 more steps and it would have been there.
So this is where Michael gets his
iconic
look, his coveralls. And then we get to meet Lori leaving her house, and she's supposed to drop off a key to the Myers house because her dad owns a realty company.
Mm-hmm.
And she runs into Tommy, which is a kind of a kid she babysits every once in a while.
Yeah.
And they're going to the Myers house, which he first says is that's where the boogeyman lives.
Yeah.
And we get our first instance.
Turns out he was right.
He was right because he was in that motherfucking house.
Mm-hmm.
And he's seen him. He's seen him out there.
Yeah, he did.
Out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we kind of just intercut between like Lori noticing Michael, like seeing him outside of her class or of her classroom, her and Annie walking and seeing him behind the little hedge.
Yeah. The hedge trap.
Yeah, the hedge trap.
In the classroom, we talked about this. Not one of them motherfuckers is left-handed. And that's upsetting.
Kendall is left-handed.
I'm
and
left-handed.
He's looking for his left-handed brethren.
Yeah, anyway, I'm sorry, Evan.
I
didn't mean
do
to
notice-
drag-
Is your brother left-handed?
No, he's right-handed. We're
That
identical mirror twins.
That's right. You told me that.
So
Yes.
weird.
We are the biggest freaks of nature that you've ever met.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty rare. Like Mr. Clean with hair.
Yeah, and then we kind of
What the fuck
What
was
the fuck?
that?
What?
I'm sorry. We have to stop And
I was in the middle of reading, and that just completely stopped me in the fucking track. I just heard Mr. Clean with hair.
I'm rare, like Mr. Clean with hair. It's a Wheezy reference. It's Lil Wayne.
Oh.
He said, "Motherfucker, I'm rare, like Mr. Clean with hair."
Oh, that's neat.
okay.
Yeah, it's on the Carter 3.
I'm like, I'm like a silent G. I'm cutting through lasagna.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that's
God.
it's so fucking stupid. But
So
then when you think
stupid,
about
but so
but
witty.
then when you think about it, it's like, dude, what a fucking genius.
But
That,
so
that G
witty.
is silent.
I know, it's a fucking
Yeah.
genius line.
Yeah, come on. That's why the motherfucker's so great.
Wheezy. When you said Wheezy, yeah, for some reason I thought of the Jeffersons.
Jeffersons. I was like,
Easy.
you're not old enough to remember the Jeffersons. How the fuck?
Kind of cut back to Loomis, because he's walking with the caretaker for the graveyard, I would assume, and they're looking for what?
Keep going.
Oh, okay. And,
Fuck you, Grant.
You know exactly what I'm gonna
I know
say.
what you're laughing at.
oh,
Nothing. Just keep going.
I'm lost. What the fuck happened?
Keep going.
You're almost there.
You're
though.
almost
Gonna
there.
Tell
Oh
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now I remember.
We're gonna
You're
get
almost
there.
there.
So we're rolling now. I can't stop thinking about it. So they're looking for Judith Meyer's grave, and they find they come up to it, and there's a hole there. Hold on a second. And he's like, 18, 19, those damn kids. And there's a place where her gravestone would be.
It's a hole that's about maybe like 2 feet long by about 4 inches wide and maybe 5 or 6 inches deep. And this fucking guy goes, they buried her in a really small hole. And we all three of us collectively turn and look at him and go, it's where the fucking gravestone was.
Yeah, then I'm like, oh yeah, I guess the gravestone's missing.
It's like, what is
Okay.
it? What is this? A grave for ants?
And he's like, oh, I guess I'm the fucking idiot.
Yeah, right when I said it, I was like, oh fuck, no, that's the gravestone. Okay, all right. They didn't dig her up.
No, yeah, they took the
Yeah.
They
gravestone.
took the gravestone, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, when more information is presented, I can backspace.
yeah. I wish my life was a movie. I could cut that shit out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd be on the fucking editing room floor for
Yeah,
sure.
right.
So much of that is
Oh
staying
my
in.
God.
Big clap. Big clap.
No, it's not happening.
Nope, that's
not
staying in.
happening.
I'll edit that clap out.
Yeah, and then and we kind of meet. Yeah, I forgot we meet Annie Brackett, and then we also meet Linda.
Totally.
Totally. She says totally.
A lot. Totally.
Let's be fair. Let's go back to this real quick. When I'm watching these movies, I'm as nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. So for me to see that hole, I'm like thinking of all kinds of shit.
Dude, we moved past the hole.
I'm still on the fucking hole.
You're still on the
Because
hole.
You guys want to play me out as a fucking idiot.
I'm not playing you out as an
I'm not a
idiot.
fucking idiot.
You're not an idiot. I know. You have more college education than I do.
Well, that's
Than both of us combined.
I was kicked out twice.
Yeah, but you still went.
You still went.
I didn't learn a fucking thing. I have less college education than you guys do.
But we kind of learned that like Lori will be babysitting Tommy tonight, and then Annie will be babysitting Lindsay, which they live like right across the street from each other. And then also Linda is telling Annie, he's like, hey, can I bring my boyfriend over to the Wallaces? So, you know, wah wah.
Putting to put fingers into hands.
Wah wah.
to put fingers into hands.
Yeah, put fingers in the hands. Lots of butt stuff.
Okay.
Yep. Maybe some stuff Albert Fish did. Who knows?
Oh.
Not the kids. I mean the
Okay.
sexual stuff.
That was the kids.
Well, but he also
I
had
want to see him backtrack this.
he also had relationships with other people. He was married 4 times. He had 6 kids.
And all of them said that he was a very loving father.
Yeah, they loved him. They defended him in his trial.
Until they realized how much of a sick fuck he was, and they were like, "Nah, dude, you're on your own now."
Yeah, well.
Oh, Albert Fish. I can't. I just can't.
If you don't know who Albert Fish is, consider yourself lucky.
Yeah.
Or check out the.
There was a documentary about him.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can also just listen to the 3 episodes last podcast.
Last
podcast did a
that's what I was
fantastic.
gonna say.
You can listen to the Grace Bud Letter.
If
but if you're a true
you-
crime enthusiast, everybody has read the Grace Bud Letter.
Yeah. There's also a great
It
book. I think
fucking
it's called
sucks.
Deranged by Harold Schechter. You should definitely check that out too, because he's like,
Yeah, because it was Ed Gein was the deviant.
was deviant. Yeah.
Yeah, because he wrote both of those books. He's a great true crime author. You should check him out.
Yeah.
Sounds like Kermit the Frog.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
Sounds just like Kermit the
Yeah.
Frog.
So he sounds like Patrick Mahomes.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Yeah, so we find we kind of find out that they're babysitting tonight, and then Lori goes back to her house. She sees Michael outside of her window.
We see a pumpkin.
We see a pumpkin.
Yep.
We're on pumpkin watch.
Yeah.
Did we figure out which one was the green one?
I think it was the
It was
one.
the one that was destroyed at the
You think
beginning.
so?
I think
Yeah.
I think it was the one that because
They didn't want that one to be around for very long.
Yeah, because Tommy gets bullied and he gets pushed over and they break a pumpkin. So
Yeah.
that might have been
That was
that
the
might have
one.
been the green one.
Yeah, and then so she sees Michael, and then she gets a phone call. One of it's like deep breathing. So we're like, oh fuck, Michael called her. Does he have a fucking cell phone? Come on, bro. You know that he didn't call you. How the fuck did he call you?
Yeah.
Anyways, she gets another call back, and it was Annie fucking with her. And then Annie's coming to pick her up to take her over to the Doyles. So she picks her up. They're smoking weed. And then they happen upon Annie's dad is the sheriff.
It's Sheriff Brackett.
Yeah, Sheriff Lee Brackett. And they come upon the hardware store, I believe.
Yeah, it's a
like
hardware store.
Hardware store / general store type of thing. The alarm is going off, and then he says that, oh yeah, probably some pranksters, they broke in and they stole a mask, a couple of knives. Loomis, right after they leave, Loomis finds Sheriff Brackett, and he wants to go to the Myers house to see if Michael's there, because that's where he's figuring that Michael's going to go back to. If he's like, well, if he's going to go anywhere, it's going to be here. There's something that he's trying to do, and it has to be here. So they go to the Myers house. They get inside, and they find a dead dog. They don't show it on screen.
But they presume that he ate.
Well, Loomis is like, I think he got hungry.
Yeah. So you're thinking like, oh, he ate
Well,
a
I mean, he
fucking
can't go to
dog.
fucking McDonald's.
Yeah. Plus, he doesn't have any
Why
money.
not?
Plus, he has no money.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess he could kill somebody with some money, but like,
Well, he might have ended up with the money from the mechanic that he killed on
that's
the side
true.
of the road.
But he doesn't have. He has no concept of any of this stuff. He was 6 years old, and the rest of the time that he's been alive, he's been in a mental institution.
True. So
He has
don't
no.
even
He
know
has
how
no
to find-
concept of anything.
Yeah, and you don't know how to find them.
No. So we end up at the Myers house. Like, they find the dog, and they go upstairs, and basically, Loomis is telling Brackett about Michael. He's telling him that he's basically the epitome of evil.
That's
Yeah.
where he gives that line that.
Yeah, he says, I have it right here. It says, I had met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I realized what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. It's like, he says, I spent, 7 years trying to cure him and the other 8 trying to keep him behind bars. Because at some point, he was just like, I can't reach him. He's just gone.
Yeah.
He doesn't exist anymore. So
He was born evil.
yeah, there's
evil,
nothing I can do about it. Yeah, so we cut to the night, and basically Annie and Lori are babysitting. Lori's babysitting Tommy, Annie's babysitting Lynn, and we have some just weird, like scenes or whatever, just like kind of suspenseful scenes and stuff like that,
Like-
where you see Michael outside or he's in the doorway, blah 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 blah, shit like that.
Freaky shit.
Freaky shit. You know, like Annie gets fucking stuck in the goddamn window.
Which I'm so, like I said while we were watching it, I'm so glad that this happened in the 70s and we didn't have to think about, like stepbrother porn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, because she gets something on her clothes. She takes those off. She takes her clothes that got stuff on them. She takes them to the laundry room, which is outside.
Exterior laundry room.
Yeah,
in Illinois.
In Illinois.
In the late fall.
Late fall, in October.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, but it might have been a nice day. And then after Lindsay gets Annie out of the laundry room, she gets
Annie tells her, you don't tell anybody. And what is Lindsay?
Her boyfriend Paul calls, and Lindsay immediately tells him that she got stuck in the laundry room because fuck them rules.
Yeah.
And then basically Annie's going to go meet up with her boyfriend, so she is going to take Lindsay over to the Doyle's house so she doesn't have to deal with her, basically. And then we kind of get a little stalking scenes, but like Annie takes Lindsay over to the Doyle's, and then she's going to go see her boyfriend. She goes to the car at first. She doesn't have the fucking keys. How she was going to start that car is beyond me.
Yeah.
And then so she goes back in, gets the keys. It made me think of you because you always forget your keys.
Yeah. Always.
That could have been directed at either one of you.
If you have keys, you forget them.
Yeah.
If you have keys,
not me. I always have my keys on me.
I have ADHD, and I will set shit down, and 10 minutes later,
I do that
I have
with everything else
fucking
except
idea.
for my keys. I always know where my keys are.
I've
On the back
walked
of the chair.
around for 10 minutes looking for my phone and telling the person I was on the phone with that I'm looking for my phone.
Classic.
And they're like, "You're on your phone." I'm like, "Oh, fuck, I've got it in my hand."
Classic.
Yeah, again, I guess I really am a fucking idiot.
I didn't say anything.
I wasn't gonna. I had made no remarks.
You listening out there, you've done the same shit.
There are going to be a million people that are going to be like, relatable.
And there's also going to be a million people that are going to be like, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah, right. Even the ones who've done it, they're going to be like, fucking idiot.
What an idiot.
Glad it ain't me.
Yeah, so then...
Hopefully we get those million people listening, though.
Yeah, well.
That'd be great.
Come on, Algeria.
Yeah, yes. Come on, Algeria.
Tell your friends in Algeria.
And then Annie goes back to the car. She gets in. Now the car's open.
Yeah.
And it's foggy in there.
But I noticed it was foggy on the outside because she went to wipe it down and she didn't leave a streak.
So I thought she did.
No.
Didn't. No, it was...
It was foggy on the outside.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
It's supposed to be the fact that Michael's in there going,
Because this is what he does the entire movie. I asked you what...
The movie ends with that.
Yeah.
There was a guy like me on the set, and he put the fog on the outside of the window, and they didn't have enough
And
money to go
Carpenter
back
was
and
like,
he was like, "You fucking
He's like,
idiot! It's
fucking
supposed to be on
moron.
the inside.
It's supposed to be on the inside.
I also told you to dig that hole bigger.
It was supposed to be the body. Now we just have to use the headstone.
Now we have to. I'm not stupid. People are just fucking up.
And then Michael pops up and fucking strangles the fuck out of her.
Again, though, she's going the whole time, and that's not.
Not what I would have done.
It's a fucking movie. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. I mean,
there also has to be some type of, silence doesn't really do much for it.
Yeah.
If you do the.
Well, no, I think he was talking about the fact that she's just kind of laying there taking it. She's not really flailing around that much. Like
That's true.
he's doing it with one hand.
He's very
strong.
He's very strong. He's a big strong boy.
Big strong boy.
The strongest.
He
boy.
fucking.
He's like a buddy.
He
Chip.
slapped a fucking car window and shattered it.
He Gunther chopped it.
He fucking. He said, "What did the five fingers say to the glass? Crack."
Okay, I get it. He's strong.
I'm not trying to convince you of it. I'm just. Saying.
I mean, there's no way that you're denying the fact that this man is a fucking
Freak of nature.
Yeah.
Highlander.
He comes back from so much shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, so
Not to mention all that childhood trauma.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's fucking dead.
Excellent segue.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's not alive anymore. And then he carries her around.
Yeah, and then he's carrying her body outside of the house, and
Yeah.
Tommy sees it. He's like, "Oh, the boogeyman!" Because he's
Boogeyman,
been doing this like all fucking night.
Boogeyman the whole time.
Boogeyman's like, "Shut the fuck up, go watch TV or
Go scare Lindsay or something.
yeah,
Jesus.
leave me alone."
Go watch TV, yeah.
Yeah, just go sit in front of the babysitter. I'm busy. I'm doing shit.
Yeah, and then Linda and Bob show up.
I'm busy cutting this pumpkin on the night that the pumpkin is supposed to be displayed.
Right. Yeah.
It was babysitting activities.
There's so many other things that I would do besides carve a pumpkin for Halloween after all the trick-or-treaters have already gone. Like,
Fuck them kids.
And then you set the jack-o'-lantern out.
yeah, then you set the jack-o'-lantern out after the fact that there's no kids going to
And
walk by.
then you tell the
go,
kids to go to
"Ooh."
bed.
Yeah, and you tell the kids to go to bed.
Again, fuck them kids.
It's not Santa's cookies.
So Bob and Linda show up to the empty house. They're looking for Annie, but they can't ever. She's like, wow, she just must be gone. Oh, we got the house to ourselves. Let's go fuck.
And drink beer.
I wonder what brand that beer was.
As beer brand beer.
Yeah.
They were leaving beer cans
Everywhere.
Which is funny because when they came in from the car, no beer. Didn't
Mm-hmm.
have none. So did they steal their beer?
I think the loose beer cans from the van stuck to their clothing.
Like the popcorn from Killer Clowns.
I mean, I think it was a little bit of static cling. You know, you can solve that by some some little sheets.
A little bit. Use
throw those
fabric
in.
softener,
Yeah,
everybody.
put the
It
cling
saves.
sheets.
If you are out, helpful tidbits, it usually only applies for guys that are single. If you run out of dryer sheets, you can ball up some tinfoil and throw it in there. It will get rid of the static.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Won't
nice
do
to
anything
know.
to make it smell fresh, but it won't
No,
be staticky.
it'll stop it from shit sticking to you.
You
Yeah.
should have told Bob this.
Um,
Bob could have valued this.
so
information.
they go upstairs, they fuck. Pumpkin
There is a
pumpkin
pumpkin.
upstairs.
Pumpkin
There's a
number 4.
up
Pumpkin
there.
number 4.
Just for them. I mean, it's a jack
It's a
lantern
lit
in the
pumpkin
room.
in the room.
In the room.
Which is strange.
Which, it was a lit pumpkin in the room
What's that
in
smell
an
like?
empty house.
Yeah. Did Michael put that there, you think? Or was it just there?
I don't know.
Because it was in, we would assume that is Sheriff Brackett and his wife's room. Because it was big. It was the master
This is the
bedroom.
master bedroom, yeah.
So did they put that in there, or did Annie put that in there, or did Michael put that in there?
But why was it in there to begin with? Unless it was
That's what I'm
Michael.
saying.
If it had to have been Michael,
mean,
because
that-
there's no reason to have an indoor pumpkin.
That would smell bad.
In a-
That would not smell good.
Yeah, but it's one
Actually-
of 4
Oh, you think so?
pumpkins in
Kind
California.
of like the smell of a jack-o'-lantern when it's kind of burning.
There's
It's
there's a reason that people set those fuckers outside.
because they're decoration.
They're decoration, but also I don't think it smells good.
I do.
And
I
so-
Because the innards of pumpkins fucking it's terrible smelling.
no, not at all.
Okay, well,
Disagree.
I mean you're wrong, but you just like weird smells.
No, it's a very naturey smell.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
I just think they're fucking selfish as fuck. Because it was one of 4 fucking pumpkins in California. And they have it in their fucking bedroom.
Well,
Bogart,
all hidden from everybody else.
now
Bogart and the pumpkins.
in canon of this film, it's in Illinois.
One of four pumpkins in
and
Illinois.
There were many pumpkins in canon in the movie. There were plenty of pumpkins to go around.
I know. It's how I get through the movie. So I'm sitting there
Fixating.
thinking,
He fixated on the pumpkins so that he
Yeah,
could survive
so-
the movie.
yeah, and I'm
it's like
counting
Where's
them.
Waldo?
yeah, and I'm counting them, and they definitely reused several of the pumpkins, and because we know there was only 4, but they were in so many different scenes.
It's kind of
You,
like
you really ruined my immersion of this movie by telling me how many pumpkins there were.
It's kind of like sitting in the waiting room of your dentist, but doing the highlights, find the items pictures.
Yeah.
You're trying to distract yourself from the horrors that you're going to be inflicted upon.
I never even did those
Exactly.
when I was a kid.
Oh God.
Highlights?
Dude, that was my shit.
Oh, I love the
Really?
highlights magazines. Yeah.
Fucking-
100%.
I don't want to
Could
learn. I'm not in school.
It's not learning; it's just finding the
I
pencil
don't
in
want
the
to
wood.
do that either.
Yeah. Where's the fucking schooner?
Where's the broom? Oh, it's on the chair leg.
Yeah.
No, it would just make me mad, and I would just throw it across the room.
You get
There's no
angry.
fucking broom in here.
You get angry, man.
We had different childhoods.
Yeah, we did. I fucking love the highlights magazines.
I did too.
That's cool. Sorry, that was an asshole thing to say.
Real cool, bro.
Yeah,
Moving on.
Super cool. You were a dumb kid.
So I'm an idiot and a dumb kid. All right.
No, that was dumb kid, as in the royal dumb kid, as in the we.
the royal.
So Bob goes downstairs because he's got
Beer
he's got
to
that.
get.
Well, he's got that after boning hunger. Happens, man. Put his glasses on like a normal fucking human being
I guess.
because he's got to be able to fucking see.
Yep.
They have a cigarette afterwards, which is super real.
That's fair.
I after I quit smoking, that's gonna be bad. That's gonna be like, what do I do now? Because that's what I usually do. But I guess it's like after eating, because there was nothing better than an after big meal cigarette.
Especially
Now it's like I don't even miss it.
Yeah.
Really, it's like I don't have a vape because I'm cool. Because they're so cool. And he goes downstairs. I actually love this shot because it's like because Michael's there. You're pretty sure you're like he's fucking here. He's gonna fuck these motherfuckers up. And I love that he goes to the first door, opens it, and you're like oh, and you think that there's gonna be a big jump scare. And then he goes to the other door, opens it, and it kind of waits a second, and then boom, he comes out. And this kill is so fucking good. It's man, makes my dick hard. As hard as that knife was in his belly.
I don't think that's the. I'm not sure that's the right reaction you're supposed to have when somebody dies, but
Fuck Bob. Who cares?
Yeah,
He was a fucking nobody character.
He was
I
giving
know.
me Jeffrey Dahmer vibes.
Yeah,
it's
he was-
those glasses and that hair, man.
He deserved it.
Yeah, this is like 10 years before Dahmer, so Dahmer actually probably emulated Bob.
This is barely post Bundy time, isn't it?
This is.
Or is he
this
still is he still active now?
No, this is 78. He's still active.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Because he didn't get caught until like 1980.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought it was in the '80s when he got caught. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, I could be
that movie
completely
took
wrong.
place when Ted Bundy was active.
He could have watched that with one of his victims.
Probably did.
Nah,
He was a fucking conservative Reagan bitch. Or no, he became a Reagan bitch. But he was a super conservative asshole. Like, he sucked. That guy fucking sucked. God, I hate Ted Bundy. At least some of them were kind of fucking like, funny.
Good Lord.
Stop idolizing serial killers.
So what happened in the
Yeah,
movie?
see, this is
Evan?
going to be the problem when we do the slasher movies. Is I'm going to talk about this, and I'm going to be like, I kind of get where they're coming from.
It's. I'm not going to say that. Never mind. Go on.
Well, fuck it, we're airing out all the shit now.
Yeah,
Fuck
let's do
it.
My brother said just today we were playing pool, and he was like, if you went over our life, because we listen to like a lot of true crime podcasts and stuff, and he's like, if you go through our life and somebody just said all the shit that happened to us in our life, the only thing we really are missing is killing someone. And it's like,
It's amazing I haven't been flagged.
yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Well, this is all going on the internet, so we may end up on the watch list.
Cool. I've always wanted to be on a list. I hope I'm number one.
Yeah. Life goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Bob's dead.
I just hope that nobody in this area ever goes missing, because, like,
We're on the list.
we're gonna be visited.
We will be questioned.
We will be questioned.
But, yeah, so Bob's dead. It's a good kill, though. Like, he gets fucking, fucking posted on the goddamn...
Yeah, it was like it was a thumbtack. He was hanging up a memo. Note to self: kill this fucker.
And then we go to Linda upstairs, and we get Michael in a ghost sheet with glasses on. He took his glasses. He doesn't need them.
Yeah, what does he need it for?
What a fucking dick move, dude. Like,
He
maybe-
just wanted the girl to think that he was Bob in the
Why not just show up and fucking?
He was
why
already,
does
he was already underneath the sheet.
Why does he have to be all theatrical? Just fucking
It's
go up there.
Halloween. He's dressing up. He's
He's already dressed up.
He was
He's wearing a...
even more. Even more.
This is the one thing I don't understand because like Michael has never acted like this ever before in the entire series, but this is the one time he decides to be all theatrical.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking production.
It was the first movie.
Making
He's
it
trying to
Broadway.
figure it out.
He's making it Broadway.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But anyway, he goes up there. She's like, bum, and of course she's showing her tits because reasons. She's like, you got my beer?
You see anything you like?
See anything you like? And then he's like, well, if you don't have my beer, I don't need anything from you anyway. I was like, okay, bitch.
Wow. I guess that's why the reason she keep. Well, I mean, I guess she's 17 ish. So like maybe Bob is kind of a bit of a predator because he probably is over the age of 21 if he's buying beer. That
I got the indication that, well, not
No,
necessarily.
in that day, was
they
the
would
drinking age 21?
No, back then it was
18.
like super easy to get fucking beer.
Oh, I'm sure.
Underage. So I would assume that Bob's probably in high school, maybe just out.
When did the drinking age change? Because I know
That's a good question. I
It
don't
was
know.
18.
And then and if they were in Wisconsin, it was like recently that it became like not recently, but like it was around like the 90s when it went from 18 to 21 because it was the drinking age in Wisconsin was 18 forever.
So that was kind of like
like in Texas,
state by state thing.
Just like in Texas, if
July 17th, 1984
was when it changed.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
So yeah, back then.
So he was old enough to buy beer.
If he was 18,
he could have been old enough to buy beer.
He could have been old enough to buy beer, and some places, they just wait for things. So Linda dies.
Yeah.
She gets strangled with a phone cord.
With a phone cord.
While she's calling Lori, and then Lori hears, and then of course she thinks she's like, "Oh, cool! You called me while you're banging. That's awesome."
Yeah. So, of course, it prompts Lori to investigate.
She goes over to so she goes up there, and then we get she's investigating, and then we get all the bodies showing up because she walks into the master bedroom. She sees Annie laying on the bed with the headstone of Judith Myers above her. The fucking score is just so fucking good right now. And then we get the fucking sweet other jump scare with Bob.
Kendall was like,
he's
oh
swinging.
He's swinging. He's just sitting there for no reason. He falls out. He just sits there and fucking swings like he's upside down on a monkey bar.
And then she opens. Is that like a little closet or was that like a laundry chute? Or?
It's like a linen closet kind of thing with like a shelf.
And that's where Linda's been
folded up
in there,
folded like laundry.
And she's walking out, and then we get like the best shot of this.
The best shot of the movie. So good.
She goes out into the hallway, and then there's another room, but it's all dark. And then you just see Michael slowly moving,
and all you can see is the mask because it's a stark white on a black background with his black clothes.
It's so badass. And then he kind of slashes at her arm, cuts her.
How did he miss? I don't get it. But anyways,
and then she falls over the banister and all the way down the stairs.
Lands on her keys.
She tries to get out the back door, but he has put a rake.
When did he do that?
I don't fucking know.
She came in that door, and then he hid in that room so that he could sneak up behind her menacingly. So when she went upstairs and was like ogling the dead bodies, he snuck downstairs, stuck a rake, then went around to the front, went upstairs and hid in the room. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's what he did.
So we're questioning whether this guy can drive a car. But we don't question whether this guy can come up with this elaborate fucking murder plot.
And that he apparently moves at super speeds or can teleport.
Yeah. So he can come up with all this other shit. But wait, he can't drive a car?
This might have been the first instance of the teleporting slasher.
Like
where he's there, and then the second you look back, he's gone. Mm-hmm. He's like fucking Batman.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that feels like.
He does that a lot.
Yeah, he does that a lot. And so she finally just like he's like because he's bucking because she locked the door going into the kitchen, I guess. And then, so he's like fucking trying to open it, and he's just beating it down with his bare hands. And she's trying to get out the door, and like, of course, it's like right before he gets to her.
She thinks
She finally smashes the glass, which I'm sorry, that would have been my first fucking
yeah,
instinct.
I can't unlock it. I can't move it because of the rake.
I would have. Well, yeah, I would have. I don't think I would have used my hand. I would have used my foot because she had shoes on.
Or I would have just used
Yeah,
my
the elbow.
Elbow.
Because you could have also like. She could have. I mean, I know she could have just taken off her shirt and wrapped her elbow. And so she's she's running out of the house, and she goes to the neighbors. Fucking starts banging on their door.
This is such a neighbor reaction.
Yeah, and they turn on the porch light and they say, "No, fuck that."
Yeah, they turn on the porch light. Then their bedroom light comes on. They look out and they're like, "Ah, fuck this," and they turn the lights back off. And
Yeah,
it's
trick or
like,
treating's over, bitch.
Yeah, they're
it's like this is an HOA, obviously.
This is an HOA.
fuck this bitch.
Yeah, and then she runs back to the Doyles, and she's banging on. Of course, by this time the kids are been put to bed, and she's yelling for Tommy to open the door, and he comes down there fucking slow as fuck. It's like, bro, I'm screaming. Hurry the fuck up.
Yeah. Do you not hear me just continuously banging on the door? And you're the one that was talking about the fucking
And now
boogeyman.
he's like, oh, but I'm so tired.
I've only been asleep for an hour. If that.
Fuck off, Tommy.
She left you like not even 15 minutes ago.
Fuck you and your. Is he supposed to be like a karate dude?
He was wearing a karate
Yeah.
gi, yes, yeah.
The whole time,
Yeah.
almost.
Get your ass down here, Daniel-san, and fucking open this door.
Cobra Kai that bitch.
Yeah, see, they.
Tommy has to come down and open the door.
Yeah,
and
Tommy
everything's
has to
stupid.
come down and open the door, and they go upstairs. Oh yeah, and they she gets in, and then she's looking outside for Michael because he was like coming at her as she was trying to get in the door, and then she notices that the fucking window's open, and so that he's probably in. So she grabs like a sewing needle, and he
It's a crochet. It's either a crochet or knitting
It's a
needle.
crochet needle, yeah. And then he fucking pops up from behind the couch, fucking misses again with his butcher knife.
He was so accurate with all of his kills up until this point, and then suddenly he's like Mr. Bumblehands.
Yeah, he's like fucking Mr. Magoo now.
Yeah. Like, well, he fucked up his eyes wearing Bob's glasses, apparently.
He's like, I can't see without my glasses. He's fucking Velma now.
Yeah. I needed Bob's glasses to be able to see. Now I can't see.
Now I can't see shit. And he stabs like into the couch, and then she fucking necks him with the crochet needle, and he's like, oh, and then he just falls over. She grabs the knife and is like waiting for him to get up, and then she drops it.
Just leaves the knife behind. Like, come on, dude.
Fucking Jesus.
Just keep it.
She is definitely final girling this shit out of this because she
Bro.
does just some of the dumbest stuff.
It's fucking ridiculous. And then all through that, she finds out that the phone is dead, so she can't call for help. So she goes upstairs to check on the kids, and then he appears again.
Yeah, he comes up behind her, starts coming up behind her.
Yeah. And then she locks the kids in another room, and she goes into the master bedroom. I think
A bedroom.
Yeah, she goes into a bedroom. She gets in the closet, which is like probably like
She opens the it's like a terrace door.
Mm-hmm.
She opens that. I'm assuming she opens that so that she gives him like she's trying to mislead him, like she left that way.
Yeah.
So that he will go that way, and then she hides in the closet.
yeah. And
But he's too fucking smart for that.
Yeah,
But
and-
also, they needed to open the terrace so that, spoiler, Loomis could shoot him and he could
Yeah,
fall off
yeah.
the back of the terrace. But anyways.
And then she kind of wraps like a piece of clothing
Yeah.
around the door so he can't open it, which is smart.
Yeah.
And then of course he's trying to open it, and he's like banging on. And then he finally gets the bright idea. Oh, I can just break these things.
Because this is just fucking wooden lattice.
Yeah. So he starts punching it or whatever. I love the fact that when he starts punching it, he accidentally turns the light on. I don't know if that was planned or if that just happened.
I think that just happened.
That is
John-
a fucking just a stroke of luck because it's such a cool thing about the scene. And then she grabs a hanger off off the rack or whatever and fucking just right into his fucking eye.
A
Yeah.
wire hanger.
Yeah, a wire hanger.
We don't see a lot of those anymore.
Mm-mm.
No, they were there for a while. They were used for one thing. It wasn't that.
Oh
Yeah.
boy. Moving on.
They're probably going to get used a lot more if
hanging
projects were-
clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, yeah, that.
And then he's down, and she thinks that he's dead. Why not just stab him again, just to make sure? He's already survived one.
And
thing.
you already have the knife over him.
Just fucking stab.
Just
But
do it
it's the
again.
fact that she's a good person.
She's a good person. She doesn't want to outright commit murder.
'Cause
She
that
thinks
is
he's already
committing
dead,
murder.
so she thinks he's already dead, so there's no
She
point.
already stabbed the fuck out of him.
I know.
But it was in defense, and he's like, so she's assuming that he's dead. So it's a great shot because like she's like leaning up against the doorway, and she's like, oh, thank God it's over. And then it's just an overhead shot, and he just fucking Undertakers it.
Yeah.
And just sits right up.
Well, and she drops the knife again.
Again.
She's scared.
Right by him.
You know.
Right next to him.
Right next to him.
Right next to him. She might as well put it back in his fucking hand.
But to be fair, she
But he
thought
didn't.
he was
but
dead.
he didn't use it.
She thought
No, he
he
didn't.
was
He didn't grab it.
He wasn't paying attention. He'd
No.
already gotten stabbed once.
No, he was trying to strangle her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because not to mention, she did also stab him with the knife. Because when he got eye poked, he
Yeah.
dropped the knife, and she
Yeah.
fucking got him.
Yeah.
So
And that's
I mean,
why he laid down.
in
That's
theory,
why she
she
thought
would
he
probably
was dead.
think he's dead. It's like, fuck, I've already stabbed this dude in the neck. I stabbed him in the eye, and then I stabbed him with his knife.
Yeah.
He's got to be dead now. There's no fucking way. There's no way he's surviving this. Well, he gets up, and then he comes out of the room and starts strangling her.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is just kind of grabbing at whatever, and she pulls his mask off. It's the first time we've ever seen him.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that they made sure to have the prosthetic
Over
his
the eye.
over his eye, so
Showing that he'd already been
yeah,
in
that
the
his
eye.
eye was all swollen up and shit like that. And then fucking here comes Loomis to save the day, and he fucking shoots him 6 times.
He shoots him 6 times. And then Michael takes a tumble over the edge of the terrace and lands on his fucking ass.
Yeah, and then Lori says, "Was that the boogeyman?" And then Loomis says, "I do believe that was."
Mm-hmm.
And then he looks over the terrace, and he's gone.
Yep. And then cut
And
back
then-
to the music.
and then we get the music, the sweet music, and then it's just kind of intercut shots of the house in the different rooms, and you hear him breathing, and all the while we have that fucking iconic theme playing behind it, because that's like one of my favorite times that they drop that theme is when he looks over the terrace.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good, because like, you were like, "What the fuck? He's gone,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yep, that's Halloween." Credits.
Credits.
Yeah, and we get the long form of the whole like Halloween theme.
and then we
for-
showed Kendall that he's actually known as the Shape
Mhm.
in the film.
Yeah, 'cause that's
even though
That's what Carpenter always calls him. He never calls him Michael Myers. He always calls him the Shape.
well, if you notice, there were actually 2. There was that whole thing was credited as 3 because they had in the credits there was Michael Myers at 23, Michael Myers at 6, and then the Shape. So there was actually 3 for the same character.
Yeah. So, did you have a good time watching it?
Besides the fact that I was unsettled the whole time.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something else.
No. No, I don't. I would watch it again.
Okay.
It's not
So what
that
would-
bad.
What would you, on your Scare-O-Meter, 1 out of 10, what would you rate it?
So when I originally read, so I get all my, I originally just type how scary is this movie, and the shit that came up was one of the most scariest and most frightening thrillers of all time. I don't believe that. I mean, at least for me, it was not that scary.
Yeah.
It was not that bad. So if there's anybody out there like me that is basically a coward and doesn't want to watch any of these
Not a
movies,
coward.
you can watch this movie. It's not that bad.
I don't think you're a coward. I think you are empathic. And you have some empathy, so that's why you take them in.
See, I'm not at all.
Oh, well, I've never explored the psychological or the psychiatry behind my situation as far as not watching horror movies, but I can say that it's really, if you're over the age of 13, you could watch this movie. It's not that bad.
Do you get why it's so iconic?
Yeah, I do. I for its time, when the time period it was made, and it's still relevant today, and the fact that like we talked about, that score is just
It's so
out of this world.
It's one of my favorite horror
How
scores.
if I walked up to any piano and played that, anyone, even me, like before I saw the movie, I would know what that was from.
Yeah, everybody knows what it is.
Everybody knows it. So the way that just hits is just, I've got to give this movie for what it is, what it did, and what it's still doing. Probably a 4 out of 5. I mean, at least a 4 out of 5, if not a 4.5 out of 5.
Damn, that's close to a perfect score.
Because of everything it did for me. I had a lot of fun looking up these fun facts too. I'm not gonna lie about that. The Cutco thing, the fact that he used a Cutco knife, that gets a 4 out of 5.
That sold you on it right there.
Yeah, and
you're like, oh shit, I know those knives.
I had a lot of fun with this movie.
I mean,
I'm
it's almost a perfect horror movie.
Yep.
I mean,
It really is.
it's so fucking good.
and it appeals. I think it could appeal to everyone. It's
a generational film. You could not in generational, maybe not in that sense, but a generational thing where you could be like, I can show this to my kid, and then their kid, and then my kid could show it to their kid.
I don't even think I saw any blood in it. Really,
there's very little.
No, not. I mean,
that's the neat thing about it.
So there's blood on Judith at the beginning.
There's a little bit of blood on the guy that's in the ditch. And then when Lori finds their bodies, there's some blood on Bob and some blood somehow on Linda. But overwhelmingly, he strangled most of his victims instead of stabbing them. It's not a
Bob's,
gory.
Bob's like the only one who gets stabbed.
It's not gory.
It's not an overly gory film.
I would say if you're a person like me that is trying to explore horror movies, I would say this would be the one you would want to start with.
Yeah, I agree.
think that this is probably the
It's
if you're gonna be interested in these movies and you're gonna watch them, and this would be a good break.
I think it's a very good gateway film.
Yeah, very good.
It gets you everything you need to get into.
Really get you hooked.
If you're gonna be interested in them, this one will show you whether you are or not.
It's got pretty much every trope that a horror movie moving forward from that point.
Some of them had invented the tropes.
Yeah, it invented some of the tropes.
And it's not fucking scary.
Some people might find it scary
that have been through different experiences and things.
I mean, because at the end of the day, he's just a dude.
I think it's less scary, more intense.
Yes,
it's intense. It's unsettling, but it's not.
And you don't get a lot of backstory of Michael and why he's doing what he's doing. But yeah, I had a good time watching this movie. I always have a great time watching this movie. It's a great movie.
Yeah. If you think you want to get into horror movies or scared of horror movies and you wonder why or whatever, I would say this is a good starting point for sure.
Yeah.
This is just scary enough to make or break you.
Yep.
But it's not too scary.
Well said.
But it also has like you said, all the good makeups of a horror movie.
So this is our fifth episode that we're doing. We just did one of our heavy hitters. I mean, like I said, this is less gory than like some of the other horror movies and stuff like that. But it is iconic because it is like kind of the holy trinity of what we're going to be doing. Yeah, we're 5 deep. We're getting ready to move into the next one. I don't want to say the name of it, but it's a lot of fun. It's got some laughs to it. Get ready for that.
Oh boy.
Let's do socials.
Kendall, you first.
Oh, okay.
Andy's done.
Nothing at nothing.com.
Yeah, nothing at nothing.com. I wonder if nothing.com is actually... I'm going to look up that domain later.
Yeah, don't send anything to nothing.com.
Yeah, it's actually... You won't find Kendall there.
Yeah, you won't find him there. You can find me at SmarkyMFer on Twitter and at CritHappens13 on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm going to do a call to action. To all our fans out there, even the ones in Algeria, if you're enjoying the podcast, I'd encourage you to share the podcast on your social media to let other friends and family know what you're listening to and encourage them to listen if you're enjoying it. We love and appreciate all of you for listening, and we want to reach as many horror fans as possible. Give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're using. Stop by our website at khhorrorpodcast.podbean.com and share the links you find there. You can also follow us on Twitter, share our videos so that your followers can find out about new episodes dropping, and you can also see the funny clips of Kendall and us watching the movies. Follow us at Blue Sky at Kendall Hates Horror, Instagram at Kendall Hates Horror, Twitter is at KHH Podcast, and I created a Facebook group, which is Kendall Hates Horror Podcast. You can find me at Gallus Dracon on all the socials. That's Instagram, Blue Sky. Don't have a Twitter anymore. So yeah, just share as much as you can. We'd love to also get emails, whether or not you're yelling at us for our hot takes on some of our horror movies, or telling us that we're doing a fantastic job and keep up the good work, or if you want to make a suggestion on a movie or a series that you want us to do. That's khhorrorpodcast@gmail.com. Yell at us, praise us, insult us, whatever. Just send us emails.
Send us some shit.
Send us some shit.
Fucking roast us.
Jeff
Ross us.
Yeah. Greg Giraldo.
If you roast us,
R.I.P.
you
Greg
may end up on here.
Yeah, if you want to send us an audio clip roasting us, we might include it in the podcast.
Might play it.
Yeah, I might play it.
We'll do mean tweets.
Man, if you guys hit us with some mean tweets, I will 100% read a mean tweet.
Oh, yeah, all day.
That guy sounds like a fucking tool.
Yeah.
Cool. It's going to be me.
Yeah.
It's going to be me.
No, it's not.
You're not a tool.
I already know.
It's probably going to be me.
You're my tool. You're my tool. So
I'm blushing.
any parting words?
It don't take much to make me blush. Grant just did.
Any parting words?
I hope everyone's having a great time listening to the podcast. I hope it at least takes you, whatever's going on in your life, I hope that it helps you in any way to kind of escape from that life. That's all this is for. That's what I listen to podcasts for.
Yeah.
Just to take, even if it's about fucking serial killers, it makes me not think about how shitty my life is. Not that my life is shitty. It's fine.
in your brain, you think it's shitty.
Yeah. But just check it. Make sure you tell all your friends about us, and we're slowly trying to grow the podcast, and we have other ideas of stuff we want to do. We will.
Kendall, do you have any parting words after episode 5?
Like they said, if there's anything that you could add to make us better, constructive criticism is definitely always encouraged.
Yeah.
And I would definitely appreciate it.
My parting words are, I'm happy to be here. We're 5 deep. I hope that people are, how people are listening to this. I hope people are putting their headphones in and listening to this at work while they're typing up stuff in their everyday mundane life, and occasionally they just start laughing because we said something stupid.
I really hope that they don't unplug their headphones at certain times.
At certain times, yeah. You never want that accidental headphone unplugged. But I hope that occasionally you start laughing and people in the other cubicles start going, what is this fucking guy doing? What is he laughing at?
Yeah.
So, and then as far as the state of the world, I hope everyone is. I just want everyone to be kind to each other, be excellent to each other.
Just take every day as it comes.
Yeah.
Try not to judge people too harshly.
You know what they say about us cowpokes? We take it as it comes.
Yep.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Come back and join us next week.
See you guys.